So to make sure that I have a really nice smooth base for the foundation contouring that I'm going to be doing today, I'm going to be using a primer. This is Rimmel's Fix and Perfect. So I got a nice silky finish. I feel like it does prolong the wear of my makeup. I am going to be using long wear makeup today though. So the next step I'm going to do is just spray my face with Urban Decay All Nighter just to give it a better base for the makeup to adhere to. And I'm using Revlon Color Stay in a very light and very dark. I'm just going to be using a flat foundation brush, and I've got some of the product poured out onto this palette here. Just going to take the lightest color and start laying that down where you want to be highlighting. So it's going to go again underneath the eyes, down the bridge of the nose, up over the forehead, on the chin, under your nose, so your Cupid's bow area, anywhere that you want to bring light to. Now this might feel like you're putting on a lot of product, but remember that this is going to actually be your foundation. We're not going to really be using any concealers or additional product on top of the light and the dark foundation. Once you get it blended out, it's going to give you a really nice smooth coverage, airbrush finish, but you're still going to have that natural looking contour. One of the really nice things about highlighting and contouring like this is you can play around with different face shapes, essentially. So depending on where you're going to be laying down your highlight and contour, it can really change the shape of your face. So I kind of try to do something a little bit different each time just to see how it will turn out. So if you see some of the shapes here look a little bit different from my previous contouring videos, that's why. So now I'm going to be laying down my contour lines. I'm not going to be using as much product as you've seen me use with concealers, just because this is a liquid foundation, so it's going to spread out and cover a lot more area. So I'm just doing a line right down underneath my cheekbone. I do one along the jawline and then up over the top of my forehead. You want to kind of move quickly when you're doing this because, again, liquid foundation, it is going to dry out and be a little bit harder to blend together. You'll see me using a beauty blender that I wet before I start blending to address that issue. Let's inherit the earth, because no one else is taking it. Come on to the west, before the moment's past. Infected across England and all the western world. There's posters and there's magazines, the music isn't ours. So now I've got all of my contour lines where I want them. I'm going to be taking my beauty blender, it's a knockoff beauty blender, and wetting it with more all-nighter setting spray. And it's just going to make the product a little bit easier to work with. Just use little stippling motions and start blending the foundation outward from the center. I'm going to take that light and start to push it towards the dark, take the dark and push it towards my hairline. So once you've got that all blended out with your beauty blender, take a look and just make sure it looks even enough for you. I tend to like to go back through and just buff everything out one more time with just a dry Real Techniques buffing brush, just to make sure that all of the contour lines are really blended in. So to add a little bit more dimension, I'm going to be using this MAC Prep and Prime highlighter pen, and this is in Light Boost, so it's a yellow shade. I'm just going to be using that under my eyes and on my forehead just to give it a little bit more light. I'm just going to be using a setting brush from Real Techniques just to blend this all in. And you can just use real big swiping motions just to really buff that out and let it blend naturally into the light foundation that's underneath it. Now I'm going to be taking this matte bronzer, I think this is medium, and it's from NYX, on an angled blush brush, and I'm just going to take that and give a little bit more warmth to my face. So right above where I put the contour, and then just start to blend that out. So it's going to be on the cheekbones, temples, and underneath the jawbone. Now I'm going to be using this hot pink cream blush from NYX. I'm going to use the Real Techniques stippling brush just to dot that on right above where I put the contour. And this is just going to give a real nice pop of color, and it's going to look really bright when it's first on, but remember that I like to blend everything out with a setting powder when I'm done, so don't be alarmed. So now I'm just tapping on some of that NARS Desire blush, and it's just that super pink 80s, and it looks great. It really warms up your face, but it is super bright. So again, I'm just going to be taking my setting powder, which I always use, this is from Victoria's Secret, and a big fluffy brush, and then just blend that all over, just sort of diffuse that color and also have your makeup set at the same time. So I've put on my eyebrows, and I'm going to be using this light shade from this little palette here just to put on my eyelid. And then I'm going to be going in with sort of a shimmery orange color from Coastal Scents that's just going to give a little bit of shine and some warmth to the transition on the crease here. So after I really blend that in, I'm going to move on to this little NYX palette that I have and take this warm brown. I'm just going to use that to further define the crease, just give it a little bit more depth. Just want to use that in the outer corner, concentrate it there, and then just drag it in windshield wiper motion towards the inner corner of your eye. So now I'm going to take a fluffy blending brush without any product on it, and then just take that and blend out the brown color that I put in the crease. And then I'm also going to take a little bit more, it's from that same NYX palette, it's a little bit of gray. I'm just going to tap that on in the outer corner and rub it in with circular motions just to kind of give it a little bit more depth and still leave it really soft and smoky. So now I'm taking a gel liner. This is from Sephora, but you can use any gel liner that you have on a liner brush. I'm just going to drag that from the inner corner along the lash line to the edge of the eye and then extend it just a little bit further to give it a slight wing. I'm just kind of playing off of that pin-up look. It's not going to be super dramatic, but it'll kind of give your eyes a lift and make your lashes look a little bit fuller out towards the outer corner. So now that I've got my eyeliner on, you can see both eyes there. So yeah, just defines the top lash line. I'm going to be using my Tarte Lights Camera Splashes mascara on my upper and lower lash line. And then I'm going to be going over with a second coat of Maybelline, this is Illegal Lengths. And I just like this one because it really separates your lashes and gives them that really long spidery look. There's everything all together. So I wanted to show you two versions of the finished look. So the first is going to be just with this soft pearly pink lip gloss, the Maybelline Elixir, just to show you an updated sort of daytime version. And then I'm going to change it out for NYX Extreme Lip Cream, which is a bright red, just that really classic pinup look. So you can see how it really changes the whole look by just changing out the lip color. One thing I'm going to do real quick is just add a little bit of highlighter just right up on the brow bone, just because it really opens up your eyes and just kind of draws attention up there. And there we have a finished look. Thanks for watching.